Looking for a guaranteed way to create content that resonates with your audience? Start a podcast. Interview your ideal clients and let them choose the topic of the interview. Because if your ideal clients care about the topic, there's a good chance the rest of your audience will care about it too. Learn more at sweetfishmedia.com.
You're listening to the B2B Growth Show, a podcast dedicated to helping B2B executives achieve explosive growth. Whether you're looking for techniques and strategies or tools and resources, you've come to the right place. I'm Jonathan Green.
And I'm James Carberry.
Let's get into the show.
Welcome back to the B2B Growth Show. We are here today with Yuchun Lee. He is the CEO of Allego. Yuchun, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
I'm excited to chat with you today. Yuchun, we're going to be talking about sales and marketing alignment today. This is a topic that I'm very passionate about, and I know you are as well. We're going to be talking about two specific tools that will actually help drive that alignment. But before we dive into that, I'd love for you to just give a little bit of context to our listeners about Allego and what you and your team are up to up there.
Sure. Yeah, we are a company located up in Needham, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston. We're in the business of helping B2B companies to better train their sales force, better train their professionals so they are better aligned in the way they deliver the message and launch product, and really build enough confidence for the team to go and articulate their value. We've been around since 2013, growing very, very rapidly. Just recently, we were ranked number 5 fastest growing software company on Inc. 500. And obviously, we were very passionate about this area that we're addressing, and we see a real need in the market.
So, Yuchun, as we were talking offline, just talking about these tools that can help drive sales and marketing alignment, I first want to have you elaborate on the problem that you see with alignment currently between those two organizations, between sales and marketing. Can you elaborate on the problem that you guys sought to solve with the product that you guys brought to market?
Sure. Well, one of the most critical responsibility for a marketer is their ability to share the knowledge about the company's offering or product positioning or messaging to the rest of the company, to the sales team and the entire enterprise. We've seen a lot of things broken in this process. And specifically, most organizations collect knowledge about product launches and train their team in usually what we call one-shot training process, where they get the team together, lock them in a conference room, and pump them with thousands of PowerPoint, and somehow miraculously hoping to retain all the information, across the entire time that they're being trained. Typically, the research have shown that only 10 to 15% of what's trained is retained after just 30 days. And even if one remembered those content, they tend to be outdated when you do these one-shot training because they're not frequent enough. So the result is we see a lot of inconsistency among the sales team and service organization in their messaging of their value. People tend to revert back to very old messaging and use very old decks, which really frustrate marketers. They spend all this energy on a brand new messaging, brand new set of a proposition, but see the whole sales team revert back. And most of the salespeople don't know what good look like or what's a better way to articulate their value. So all those have resulted in a lot of inefficiency and lost opportunities.
Okay, so I want to spend the rest of this conversation, Yuchun, talking about the solution to that problem. There's two different tools that we're going to be talking about. The first one is the reinforcement learning tool. Can you talk to us a bit about this tool and how it solves for that gap in sales and marketing?
Sure. I mean, in general, we think the reason this process that I just mentioned is broken is because we are not really leveraging the science behind how brains actually learn information. And we know from previous research that, first of all, to learn anything, it's better off to learn the content through short bursts of learning over a period of time. That increases the retention. And reinforcement tool that Allego provide help you retain that knowledge better through what we call flash drills. These are, think of it as flashcards that help people remember facts. And we span that over a period of multiple days to help people retain that knowledge. short quizzes on the facts that they've learned, have tools that systematically certify sales forces and professionals to make sure they retain the knowledge, and also tools that help them practice. These are all together, we call them reinforcement tools that help people retain that knowledge. Without that, again, train but not retain is really the culprit of why there's so much problem in efficiency and effectiveness of sales forces. So reinforcement is key here.
And the second tool you mentioned, Yuchun, was just-in-time learning. How does this tool compare to the reinforcement learning tool that you just touched on?
Yeah, it's very interesting. We know this intuitively from our personal experience in that, a lot of times people don't want to learn up to the minute that they need that information. So, for example, I'm sure all of us have the personal experience of, if you need to fix a washing machine or change a tire, you may not know exactly what to do. So what do people do? They go to YouTube, they search for the video, and then they learn just in time at the point that they need that information. And we see the same need in enterprise, that a big chunk of corporate knowledge is better off taught in this just-in-time manner. So companies should be able to put in place a platform so that when their sales force or service folks are interested in a piece of knowledge, they should be able to go to a system and search for that knowledge, or have that knowledge served up to them by the system through artificial intelligence, so that they can learn that information at the point that they need and not before, not after. So combination of reinforcement learning to retain things that foundationally the team need to know, with the just-in-time learning capability where the professionals learning that knowledge at the time that they need together really helps solve the problem that I mentioned earlier.
Yuchun, are there any stories that you can share where, companies have implemented this, and any stories where you can share the results that have happened because of the implementation?
Yeah, we have, we're very fortunate to have very successful customers. In general, they are able to adopt our solution and expand the number of users on top of our platform. And, some of the most, they're sensitive in terms of sharing their name, but I can tell you many of our customers use our solution to shorten onboarding time. We're able to measure and able to show that we can cut the progress to onboard a sales force by 50%. And as you know, if the sales force can onboard faster, they can become productive faster. That's one. And second, and this we see all the time, that we can go into an organization and very quickly surface the fact that if you get 10 different salespeople in the room and ask them 5 toughest questions that they need to answer, they will give you 10 different answers. So we're able to show that using our product, we're able to, systematically make sure everybody is on message, everybody is talking about the same set of value, and be able to have that consistency across the entire organization. Those are just 2 example use cases. We have organizations across pharmaceutical companies and medical device companies that use our product to certify their professionals to make sure that what they say are compliant to what's labeled and what they're allowed to sell, and at the same time able to clearly articulate the value of the product that they sell.
Yuchun, this has been great. If there's somebody listening to this, they want to learn more about Allego or they want to stay connected with you, what's the best way for them to go about doing both of those things?
Sure. Our website is www.allego.com, Allego.com. Allego is a Latin root word for allegory, which is a short story. You'll find that one of the key content form factor we use is video. Short video, it turns out, is a great form factor for learning. Or you can send me an email. My email is ylee@allego.com.
Yuchun, again, thank you so much for your time today. This has been fantastic, so I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
There are lots of ways to build a community, and we've chosen to build the B2B growth community through this podcast. But because of the way podcasts work, it's really hard to engage with our listeners. And without engagement, it's tough to build a great community. So here's what we've decided to do. We're organizing small dinners across the country with our listeners and guests. No sales pitches, no agenda, just great conversations with like-minded people. We'll talk business, we'll talk family, we'll talk goals and dreams. We'll build friendships. So if you'd like to be a part of a B2B growth dinner in a city near you, go to b2bgrowthdinners.com. That's b2bgrowthdinners.com. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.